did you know your father was not a girl dad? My father kept all daughters locked in the basement because he said women didn't deserve to see sunlight, and by the time I escaped, I'd been living in darkness for 6 years. Dad had always treated women like property. He made mom sleep on the kitchen floor because beds are for people who matter. He wouldn't let us daughters eat at the table, saying we should be grateful for scraps on the ground. When I got my first period at 12, he said I was officially worthless and needed to be kept where no one could see my shame. He'd refer to us as the basement creatures and make us cover our faces if we ever had to come upstairs because our female features might corrupt his sons. When my sister Hope turned 13, Dad announced that we were getting too old to contaminate the upper floors. He'd finished renovating the basement with locks on the outside. Women belong underground, he said. Like worms, you'll learn to live without light. He pushed us down the stairs and locked the door. Mom watched from the kitchen, saying nothing. She'd been broken years ago. The basement had a toilet, a sink, and 2 mattresses on the concrete floor. No windows, no lights, except a single bulb Dad controlled from upstairs. He'd turn it on for 1 hour each day while we ate whatever food he threw down the stairs. The rest of the time, we lived in complete darkness. Hope and I held hands constantly, terrified of losing each other in the black. Living underground destroyed us slowly. Our eyes grew so sensitive that the daily hour of light became agony. Our skin turned gray from lack of sun. We lost track of time, not knowing if it was day or night above us. Dad would sometimes leave us in darkness for days as punishment until we begged through the door. He'd laugh and say moles didn't need light anyway. We were allowed upstairs once a month for 10 minutes to shower. Dad would blindfold us first, saying we didn't deserve to see his house. Hope developed severe vitamin D deficiency, her bones softening until walking became painful. I started having panic attacks in the darkness, hyperventilating until I passed out. Dad said we were being dramatic and cut our light time to 30 minutes. After 3 years underground, Hope got sick, really sick. She had a fever that wouldn't break, coughing up blood in the darkness. I pounded on the door for hours, begging for help. Dad finally came down, took one look at her, and said she was faking. But when she started having seizures, even he got scared. He couldn't let her die in his basement. He blindfolded us and brought Hope upstairs. I heard him tell Mom to call their friend who was a nurse, not a real hospital. When the nurse arrived, I heard her gasp. She demanded to know why a 16-year-old girl looked like she'd been kept in a cave. Dad said we had a rare condition that made us allergic to sunlight. The nurse didn't believe him, but treated Hope anyway. She whispered to me that she'd be back. The nurse reported us, and child services came the next day. Dad tried to stop them from going to the basement, claiming it was flooded, but they pushed past him and found our prison. The investigators were horrified. They documented everything. The bucket we used when the toilet backed up, the scratches on the walls where we'd tried to count days, the bloody handprints on the door from when I'd pounded until my hands bled. We were removed immediately and hospitalized. Doctors said we had the vitamin deficiencies of kidnapping victims. Our eyes were so damaged from darkness that we had to wear special glasses. Hope's bones were brittle as an elderly woman's, but we were free. Dad was arrested, and Mom was deemed unfit. We went to a foster home with windows everywhere. I thought we were safe. I was relearning how to exist in daylight, how to walk outside without panicking. Hope was getting stronger. Then one night I woke up to find Dad standing over my bed. He'd made bail and broken in. You think you can live up here with real people? He whispered. You're basement creatures. You belong in the dark. He drugged me with something that made my limbs heavy. I tried to scream but could only whisper. He carried me to his van, where Hope was already unconscious in the back. As he drove, he explained his new plan. He'd bought property in another state with an old mine shaft, 60 feet underground, he said. No one will hear you down there. No one will ever find you. I fought to stay conscious as he described the shaft. No stairs, just a rope, no toilet, just a bucket on a pulley, no light at all, ever. You wanted to leave the basement, he said, so I found you something deeper. He'd already thrown our belongings down the shaft, food and water for maybe a month. After that, we'd starve in the darkness unless we learned to be grateful. The van stopped on empty land. I could see the wooden cover over the mine shaft in the headlights. Dad dragged Hope out first. She was starting to wake up, mumbling my name. He opened the shaft cover and I heard nothing but black emptiness below. Ladies first, he said, looping the rope around Hope. Don't worry, you'll have each other for as long as you last. As he started lowering my sister into the endless darkness, she screamed my name, the sound echoing up from the depths. I tried to crawl toward them, but my drugged legs wouldn't work. All I could do was watch as my sister disappeared into the black hole, her screams getting fainter. Dad turned to me with a rope, smiling. Your turn, he said. Time to go home. Full story on the channel below.